Welcome to this episode of Al's Garage. The day is finally here and we get to paint our 1943 Willys MB. I have my out of office message set for work and this is Friday morning. I have Friday and Monday off, so I have 4 days to, I don't know, try to get this whole thing painted. There's a lot of stuff. Seats, this hitch I built for this thing, handles, this whole unit, a lot of stuff. So we're going to try to get that painted. However, as of Friday at 8:30 in the morning, I'm nowhere near ready. Well, I'm pretty close to ready, but I have a lot of work still to do on this back panel. I put some body filler on last night. I'm doing another video on how to do all this stuff. So I got to finish that, and I'm going to build a filter. Let's see if I can get that done today so that tomorrow, this time tomorrow, 8:30 tomorrow, I want to start shooting my olive drab paint. Let's see how it goes. Day 2 is done. However, no painting, just body filler, sanding. Although I am so close to being done with this, I'm pretty excited. Just a little bit here, some skim coat here and over here. Then from there we're gonna build our filter. Then after we clean this stuff up, then we're ready to paint. Let's do it. All right, real quick update. Body work, done. Feels pretty good, literally. And we're gonna be getting this cleaned up, the garage cleaned up. I'm gonna do my copper filtration unit. So after I build that, then it's just getting this cleaned up and ready to go. So here's hoping Saturday's productive. Here it is, Tuesday, we're ready to paint. I didn't film on Sunday or Monday because, you know, I knew I wasn't painting, but I did get my filter set up and mounted on the wall, and I did get my Jeep here, the actual body, what I call the nugget, frame, tub, engine. I got all the gauges taped, all the wiring done, which took a few hours. Now I want to take my rubbing alcohol and my paper towels and get it nice and clean so that there's no contaminants or anything for my paint to stick to. And with that, I guess we'll get started.
Okay. All right, start down here. Let me know when it's done.
Cool.
Now you're taking a 2-hour nap.
That's good. Okay, the moment is finally here. Later on here on Tuesday night, around 7 after 7. So we're gonna see how long this takes after I put my paint together, put my coveralls on. But I wanna show you what we have and what we're gonna paint here so far. I'm gonna come up and grab the camera here just a second. Okay, so you can see we've got our hood right here, and that's going to be over on the side. And then we've got our tub, what I call the nugget, with the tub, the steering column, the frame, the differentials, and
the engine all sitting there ready to go. All my filler is smoothed out and prepped. I have all the tape where it needs to be. There's some wiring for the hard top. I have my wiring here. My gauges are all tied up. That's tied up and taped up. We've got our grill hanging here. And only now, looking at this, knowing that I'm going to publish this on the internet as somebody who's, an expert in this, or at least a novice, do I realize how janky and ghetto this is. But yeah, so there's a lot of bend in that rebar that I'm using to hang the grill and the fender. However, there's a lot of room before this slides off on this end, and this slides off on that end. So we're gonna roll with it. As long as I don't knock it or otherwise hit the garage door, I think I'll be okay. But this fender is ready to go. Everything is cleaned. I just need to hit it with a tack cloth before I get after it. Then we got this guy here. We got the engine down here. Steering wheel. And then we've got the hood and the rain gutter that goes right here. And what I'm going to do with this is put it on and put the hood on. So I needed that piece to do it. And then this other fender. So that'll take me all night. But I'm going to paint both sides. Or how I want to tackle this is I want to hit this unit first, because it's the biggest, it has the most curves and angles and everything. I'm going to hit this with my primer, 2 coats, then I'm going to do the rest of everything, start and work my way this way with 2 coats on both of these. That way I can at least break it up a little bit. Then I'll see where I'm at from a timing standpoint. Then I can start my color, and then same thing, I'll do 2 coats of color and finish this, then work on everything else here. So let's cut to me putting the paint together on our workbench here. So I've got the primer done for my first big job of the big painting job here. But I needed a break after I was done with the primer. It's about midnight, so I went to McDonald's. I had a burger. Oh, so good. Now I'm gonna get started on the olive drab, and all I'm doing tonight is the nugget, again, the body, engine, differentials, all that frame. and then the grill and the steering wheel, because I just don't have time, and I gotta, do stuff tomorrow. And oh, it's good. Energy drink time. A little story about Alan's relationship between himself and energy drinks. I never drink energy drinks except when I'm painting cars, because you need that extra jolt. If you drink energy drinks all the time, it would diminish the value. But like if you're drinking it up every, I don't know, year, couple of years, then a little more impactful. So I'm gonna pop that open. I feel good now. Like I said, it's almost 12:15. We're gonna get the rest of this done. All right, project update. My main unit, the Nugget as I call it, is with one coat of olive drab on the frame and differentials and springs. Oh my gosh, so many corners and edges and stuff. 145, damn, I gotta get this thing moving. But I think the second coat's gonna go faster, and then from there the inside goes faster still, and then this is like 15 minutes. So is my estimate. It always goes longer than you think, but we're making progress, keeping going. Okay, that's it. We have the body, frame, engine painted. We have the grill and the steering wheel painted. So we're on our way, but a lot more to go. I'm glad I didn't start anything else, or I would not have been able to do this until, it would have been way longer than I would have wanted. So we're gonna leave our fenders and hood hang. Actually, I'll take those down just to make sure they're not gonna fall or anything, but for now, we're gonna clean up the gun and pass out for a little bit.
Next items to paint are just the little things, you know, like handles and shovel and seats, right? Just a few little things. A few little things. Let's get them hung. I have my wood, and I'm going to set up some braces, and we're going to hang as much stuff as we can get away with. Let's do it. All right, we are here and ready to paint the rest of our items, and there's a lot of them. I didn't quite capture everything last night as I was hanging it. It was just getting late and I wanted to just knock it out and not have to worry about the filming and everything. But I want to show you briefly what we're going to be painting, and what we're going to do first is, I'm pulling my camera off the tripod here. What we're going to do first is get the items all cleaned up with my rubbing alcohol so that they are nice and clean before I start my primer. So I've got obviously my hood, handles, shovel, and jerry can. We've got fender and tow bar, and as we kind of go through everything, you can see my other fender here. So a lot of various parts ready to go. And if you're curious about the weight that I have on these garage brackets here, I estimated the garage, just based on some research, weighs, the actual garage door weighs about 150 to 200 pounds. And based on what I think all this stuff weighs, I'm within that that range. So I tried to make sure that I didn't overload my garage, brackets and braces here. I didn't want to have all this come crashing down, and I think I'm good at this point. However, I would not put any more on this than what I have already. I mean, this is this is a lot of parts hanging. We've got our seats, and I actually have all these hanging from rafters. The other end of the wire is hanging on my my truss that's in the house here. So I just got them running through my opening of my attic, and that is hopefully going to work for me. I've got my gas tank sitting over there, and then all my bolts and nuts, and then all my small parts. I'll have to flip these, so I'll probably start painting those first, priming them, and then flip them, and then repeat the process. So I'm going to get started cleaning some of the stuff up, taping some of the labels on here, because I have all these little bolts labeled as to where they go, so I don't just end up with a pile of stuff. And then we'll keep rolling here. Right now it's 4 o'clock, so my guess is I'll be done with this probably about 6 a.m. tomorrow, by the time I clean all this and start painting, start priming, and have myself a fast food cheeseburger break. So let's get started.
It's 6:30. I've given all my parts. They're wiped down with the rubbing alcohol. I've eaten, I've gone to the bathroom, and I'm ready to put my suit on and mix some paint. Now, when I went around with my rubbing alcohol, I sprayed it, and it was a good test run to see, oh, okay, here's what's behind it that would get overspray on it. So I am kind of aware as to where do I need to stand to spray these so I don't hit the wall and I don't hit other parts, because I don't want a bunch of overspray like on my hood, because I want to make sure that that's as clean and nice as I can do it. So I'm going to start by, instead of just going one direction, going the whole other thing, I'm going to start with my table for all my small parts. I know I need to turn those over, so that'll be a good start, and then I'll hit like my gas tank, jerry can, hood, and front fenders, because I know those are wider, flatter areas that I can, get all addressed and taken care of. And then from then I'll sprinkle in the other parts. After, I think the next thing I'll do is like my hitch and the seats. Those are all kind of together. So I have kind of a rhythm as to how I want to do it, and that'll help me as I adjust my gun, which I haven't put it back together here, but that way I'm not doing like the hood, which is a big flat area, and then my mirror bracket, which is a skinny tube. So it'll keep me from having to adjust back and forth between a wide fan and a narrow fan. So I'm trying to come up with a little bit of a rhythm here, and I think that'll help me get through the insanity that is all these parts. So let's get started. I'm going to get this stuff mixed, and by the time we're done, I'm going to be a lot more tired. Let's roll. All right, we're back and ready to go. I had my cheeseburger. I got an extra cheeseburger for my wife, and now it's 1:30. We spent over an hour just hanging out, having a little cheeseburger picnic, and we were talking about our daughter and daycare and doing swim lessons, and I look and I'm like, oh my God, it's 1:15. I gotta get back to work. I was showing her pictures, so I could have jumped back into it, but it was a nice moment. My wife has really been a saint through this whole process. She's a great partner, and it's great that I can do stuff like this, and that she's able to, support me and watch, our daughter when I'm doing this. So it's been pretty awesome. Let's get back to it. I see a bug. I'm gonna go ahead and try to squish it here if it comes my way. Oh. Anyway, where
was I? Oh, green paint. All right, it is almost 5, and I still have to put a few, where, can you tell I've been up all night? I still have to put paint on the seats and tow hitch for me to be done with the first coat, which I think the sun's gonna rise before I'm done here. Anyhow, I am gonna keep trucking. I got my energy drink, and I'm just gonna keep after it. Now, some of the stuff, like the plate that goes into the transfer case and transmission, I don't need to paint the side that goes closest to the engine with the second coat. You know, so there's a few things I can make go a little faster, but for the most part, you know, this is a big job. I just have to keep pushing it. So let's do it. It is 8:40. Damn. All right. Well, that's how it goes. But everything for this Jeep project is now painted. Pretty exciting. I'm gonna go sleep. Next step, we're gonna pull some of this stuff down, and then we're gonna set some of the other stuff to the side and bring the Jeep in. I gotta clean up the floor and a few other things. So we're gonna do a coat. Did I already say this? I don't remember. We're gonna do a coat over the entire vehicle, primarily because I think that the cowl, which was horizontal, and the hood, which was vertical, might not look right from the paint standpoint. It'll look kind of cobbled together. So anyway, we're gonna do a little more work here, but I'll see you on the other side of a nice long nap. have ourselves a complete Jeep, which is super exciting. However, when I painted this tub, I did the inside and the wheel wells and the outside, and it just, I felt like it was too much. I don't know if it's a problem with this primer. I don't think it's the paint, but there was a lot of area in the tub that ended up just super rough, like way rough. Like it looked like olive drab grip tape. And so I went through with 220 grit after I got all this together, and I think part of my problem was overspray. I just, doing the inside, then the outside, then the wheel wells, I just feel like there's not enough opportunity to have success when you're doing that much. And like I said, I don't remember being a problem with my other Jeep, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to reshoot my inside, because I wanted to eventually do one coat on everything. So I'm just going to do the inside, let that sit,
tape it, and then do the outside. And that way I am not doing the inside, then while I'm doing the outside, I mess up the inside with overspray. It's just, sometimes you gotta plan it out like that. Anyway, yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we're, again, another late night. That's what we're up to, so let's do it. Well, this is it, the last night of painting. We are almost done because I'm almost out of olive drab paint. And my masking tape, which I'm also out of, is starting to fail on my little wall in between my compressor and my garage here. The ability to function as a paint suit is questionable here, so we're about done with this. And also, a cricket that was larger than a cricket and can fly flew in here somewhere, and I haven't been able to find it. So, you know, we'll see if it lands on the paint or not. I hope not. But I think we are ready to go. I just have to mix my stuff up. I ran out of xylene, and so I have another piece, another container here, but this should go pretty fast. One solid coat on top of the already painted Jeep that's been lightly sanded, and I think it'll look super, super nice. So let's do it. Right in the trash. All right. Whew. That wasn't too bad. That was like an hour, maybe less of painting, 45 minutes or so. I'm really excited. Painting's done at long last. I get to throw that mask and the coveralls out, and I get to take all this plastic down. Either way, I made it through. We're on to the next part here, and like I said, I get to take this plastic down and get some sleep. Oh, and I might get a couple of cheeseburgers. My wife was like, so if you're up late, are you gonna get a couple of cheeseburgers? I'm like, okay, let's have another one of our cheeseburger dates. So that's been one of the nice little blessings out of this whole crazy week of painting. But stay tuned. We're going to start putting this thing together, getting the brakes done, getting the engine running. I'm getting really excited now. So we'll see you next time, and take care.